So, yeah, welcome everyone. So my presentation this afternoon, we're going to be talking about the art of the possible with Microsoft Power Platform and sort of putting it into action with clients using sort of no-code, low-code solutions and sort of what that's all about and how the Power Platform can be utilized for that purpose. All right. So firstly, before we start, thank you to all the sponsors for today. Obviously, these are our platinum sponsors for the session. They've really helped everyone come together and have this day today, including CPS, who you can find just here. So make sure to check them out after the presentation. My name is Chris Edwards. I'm an MWM Consultant for CPS. I've been working here for 5 years, and fantastic company. Really loving the Power Platform space and everything that's available in there. And then another thank you to your sponsor slide, but for the gold and silver sponsors as well. Cool. So the first thing that I want to talk about is sort of why low code. So why are we moving into this low code environment and what sort of demand is there? So over the next few years, there's estimates for demand on apps and automation of being driven by the fact that we have all been forced into this remote working environment and sort of pushed to do this digital transformation where previously it was taking a lot longer. So the demand has ramped up, and that has been compounded by the fact that there are not enough developers. So we have sort of a 1 million dev shortfall in the US and about 100,000 plus minus in the UK. So there is a serious dev shortfall for building applications, and it's meaning that people can't get hiring and they can't get these apps built. So they're really moving and looking at these solutions where they don't need experienced development to be able to push them through. And then obviously the final one I did mention is lockdowns and remote work. So this has really accelerated the speed of all the digitization and all this app building and sort of pushed this need even further over the last 2 years. Okay, and this is across every sector, whether you are sort of production or you're an IT company, every company is experiencing the exact same thing. Okay, so we're all in the same boat. I have a clicker. Cool. So, why the Microsoft Power Platform? So Microsoft Power Platform in this sense is composed of 4 main applications we're going to talk about. Well, we'll talk about 3 of them, but we have Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agent. And these make up sort of 3 key tenets of user experience. And this is what we call Analyze, Act, and Automate. So Power BI covers off our Analyze section of that, taking our data, telemetry, analyzing it. But we also then have Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents for the Act and the automation part of this. So Power Apps is really providing the space for users to be able to act, create their own applications, and actually get involved, use applications, and actually get what they need. And then on top of that, you have Power Automate and Power Virtual Agents providing automation in the space, and really easy with low-code solutions where you can essentially just drag and drop and build your own flows and your own virtual agents, allowing for anyone to automate any process. Okay, so these sort of 3 key tenets of Analyze, Act, and Automate cover off the Power Platform, and sort of this slogan you see there, innovation anywhere unlocks value everywhere. Okay, so these key areas of the Power Platform are driving that and driving especially due to these low-code, no-code solutions that is encouraging more what we call citizen development. Slow transition. So why is the Power Platform being adopted so much globally? Okay, so why, what is driving it in this specific space? So we have 92% of Fortune 500 companies using Power Apps, and 97% of Fortune 500 companies using at least one application on the Power Platform. So global adoption is really large in these companies, and it's not just the large companies. And the reasons for this, it's easy to sign up, start building apps in minutes, not days, not months. You can get these pieces of software, create apps in minutes without needing to have a lot of know-how. You can build these no-code, low-code applications quickly and easily just with a quick sign-up. Right? So it's free to start. All of these different products have free trials you can grab and sort of start playing with, and you don't need licenses until you sort of want to make it more enterprise and start implementing it into a business. And you can turn everyone into a dev with low code. Okay, so as I said, we're focusing on these citizen developers, turning people into developers using low-code applications where, if I can use a PowerPoint, I can drag and drop, I can create a Power App, okay? Oh. So what we're going to look at is how we can use available templates that exist in the Power Platform to actually encourage this citizen dev. So not having to create applications from scratch, actually using what is already available to us. So the Power Platform provides a bunch of great templates across Power Automate and Power Apps, and you can actually encourage users to use these and create really professional-looking, easy business solutions, without any prior knowledge of coding, and they look like they've been developed over months by a full-scale development team. Okay, so anyone can start to use these. They're easy to adapt into different scenarios. You can take one, learn a bit more about Power Apps, maybe develop it into what your business needs a bit more with some extra knowledge, but it's a great starting framework for applications to be built on, okay? And as it says, it's created off of real business solutions and scenarios. So these aren't just, templates that people have made in their demo environments. All of the templates that Microsoft provides are based off of other businesses across all sectors and actual solutions and scenarios which have occurred there. So these are easy to use and they are applicable, to real business solutions and scenarios. And they are clean, professional-looking applications in literally minutes. So the next slide is my demonstration video, so let's see how well this goes. So what this should show is basically what we're going to look at is building and how you can use templates in the Power Automate and Power Apps space, and how many there are and how you can build these solutions. So this first video is me creating a Power App, and you can see here there's a whole host of templates already available without me needing to know anything about Power Apps or building them. I can see all these different business solutions which I can start using and use a template. And the one I'm going to show off is going to be called Meeting Capture. And it's a great example because it is one I have used as a starting point for a client and then built on top of it to create an in-detail sort of meeting capture application. So what it's going to do is going to build the app, and you're going to get this professional application from a template, except your different solutions, say, connects to OneNote, connects to Planner, connects to Outlook, all right there without me needing to do anything. And there you go, it's created an app. What I'm going to do is run the app here, and it's going to, once I press run, go me, yeah, there you go, you got it. So press run, and you can see I've got this really easy, clean, professional application. It's integrated with Outlook, Planner, OneNote. I haven't done a single line of coding yet, and I can already capture meetings in my Outlook calendar. I can take notes, I can record all of this information, I can create planner tasks based off of it. There's a lot of things I can do, and this is just the surface level building Power Apps, using templates, using what's available without having to know how to code. So there's an example of creating a planner from within this app. So that integration across Office 365 tools as well. You can see it integrates with your Teams meetings, and you can join. And here is, I'm not sure what I wrote. I wrote the word sketch. Very good. So you can take sketch and save those. And you can also, I clicked on the camera in the first video I took of this, but I didn't look great, so I decided to take another one without clicking on the camera. You can then, send this off, send the email out from your meeting. So this is just an example of a very easy, quick build app that you can take, build on top of, and I haven't had to do anything in terms of coding, and I've built this application that comes out of the box like that from Power Apps. So really great tools available. And then I'm going to show the same thing in Power Automate as well. So hopefully I hurry along a little bit. I won't interrupt because I'm actually not sure what happened if I clicked. Oh, go on. So yeah, so this is all about actually introducing us. So we're going to go into Power Automate now, see a similar thing and see what's available within there. So Power Apps is all about, dragging, dropping, creating pages, creating apps. If I can create Excel formulas, I can create a Power App formula. Power Automate has an even larger scenario of templates. So Power Apps has, some good business solutions, but Power Automate is really where, you can start to build complex Power Automate flows, which can automate pretty much anything across your business without needing to know anything about Power Automate. It has connections across things like Twitter, Outlook, Power BI, Planner, everything you can think of. There's probably a connection for it in Power Automate. And you can even automate desktop things. So if you're using Power Automate Desktop, you can automate clicks, alt tabs, anything, and sort of automate any repetitive process within your business And you can see the setup I've used here is an approval in Teams when a file is added to a SharePoint folder. So really easy. All I've had to do from a user perspective is select a SharePoint folder, select who the approver is going to be, and now it's turned that document list into an approval list. Anytime someone adds a document to this list now, it's going to go send an approval off to those users, or to the user I set here, which is my mod administrator account, and that's going to actually allow people to, do that. So you can see how easy it is to set up. It creates quite a complex flow. I haven't had to know anything about flow to build this, and it's quite a complex approval flow that goes through, sends messages, checks if there's an approval, creates it in Teams, creates it in Outlook as well, and sends notifications to everyone involved in the process. So that's just one example of hundreds of templates available to citizen developers to help them on their sort of journey to building low-code solutions. Okay? Let me just check my time. So I'm going to upload a document here and just sort of show the process, how it works. So pull a document in, and then I'm going to jump to Teams and show how those approvals have worked behind the scenes without me needing to know anything. I think there's a video cut here because it took like a minute or two. So it's going to jump in, and then we're going to have an approval. So there's an approval there in Teams, so I've had integration there. I can approve it. It sends that approval message. I haven't had to write a single line of code, but obviously you can upgrade that even further using drag and drop things within Power Automate. Okay? So I'm going to move on from this slide now because that's all that, if it lets me. Cool. So the last thing we're going to talk about then, or the next thing we're going to talk about is going to be Power Virtual Agents. So we've spoken about Power Apps and Power Automate and how we can use those with templates. Power Virtual Agents is a new piece of software that's been, sort of integrated into Teams as a new way to automate as well. So it essentially allows you to, think of creating how you interact with things like Siri, Google, Alexa. It's sort of trying to bring that more natural human interaction into automation. And again, they are easy to build. This drag and drop functionality, if you can build Power Apps or PowerPoints, you can drag and drop and build bots and create these dialogue trees that users can then interact with, and you don't need to know, any complex coding, but you can create automation that is useful to you in softwares you're already using, like Teams. Okay, and on top of that, Power Virtual Agents also integrates with Flow, so it has embedded integration. So back on what we were previously talking about, you can straight away embed with existing flows you've already created or create new flows for your bots to run. I have a clicker. So I do have another video here which is a bit shorter, which is just showing how easy it is to create a bot and set them up and how the language trees work. So if you've never seen Power Virtual Agents before, integrate straight into Teams. You can go and select, you can see in here, you just select Power Virtual Agents. You can go create any new chatbot, and then once you've built a chat, you can see I've got a few here. I've got Harry Potter in there, okay, and I've got a couple demo bots, and you can set them up in a couple of minutes and then start interacting with them, and you can continue building on them as required as well, and keep adding additional dialogue trees into there. And it's all drag and drop functionality, nothing complex about it, but you can build on top of them with some extra sort of coding and Power Automates as well. So it takes a second to build, and then it will give you a bot, which hopefully it shows on here. So there you go. I've got a new bot, and then immediately I can go in, I can start analyzing the topics I have in here, and I can work on those topics. So you can see there's a number of default topics, and the way you interact with these bots is just by messaging them like you would in Teams. And you can set up these trigger phrases to basically say, if I say hello, or say you're creating an absence bot, you say, I want to book a holiday or absence as trigger phrase. Someone speaks to the bot, you can have that bot then go and interact with a flow that sends off, asks you what the start and finish date of your holiday is, and you can create a request, all with drag and drop solutions using Power Automate and chatbots, which you can just integrate with Teams, and then does your holiday absence approval for you. And you can use that, approval we showed, and say not with a SharePoint list, but with this instead, and then it sends it off to your HR department or your line managers, who then approve the holiday. So it just adds that extra layer of automation on top, and they're really easy to build. You can see you can build in questions, you can build in Power Automates as actions as well. I may have already talked about it, but you can see you can pull through any sort of response from the user. You can have ages, dates, yes, no questions, multiple choice. You can ask these questions of whoever's interacting with the bot, and it's all really simple to set up without any sort of knowledge of coding or anything. And you can save them really quickly and then publish them to teams and start using them. Okay, so Power Virtual Agents, adding new ways to sort of integrate and automate on top of your existing Power Platforms, that makes it really easy for people to have that more natural conversation. And then don't play again. There you go. Cool. So moving into no code then, what is the future of no code? So, well, low code moving to no code, what does that future look like? A lot you'll see in Microsoft coming up over the next few months. You're going to start seeing more natural language queries across the Power Platform, especially in things like Power Apps. So this here is an example of someone using this is new functionality in Power Apps, where you have natural language queries where you'd ask Power Apps something like you'd ask a person. So in here it says search accounts, where the account name contains whatever this text box is, and it gives you a formula which is developed based off of your question and what it thinks. So I'm adding in coding, but I don't have to know how to code. This is already integrated into things like Power BI. There's natural language queries in there where you can search and it gives you what it thinks the visuals you want are based off of what you write in a more natural speaking way. So it's encouraging no-code development by the fact that you don't even know how to create these formulas, because it will sort of do it with you with AI. So AI is a big part of Microsoft's future in terms of using it and encouraging citizen development within these applications to help us build apps, build automation without needing to know how to code. Okay, let me see if I've got timing right, a bit early, but the thing I want to finish on is, well, also a moving type or automation. But one thing I want to finish on, obviously I've been talking about low code, no code for 15 minutes, is that it's not just low code, no code, and it's not just citizen devs, okay? You still do need, you know, people who are there, who have that know-how, that knowledge, that coding knowledge to build maybe more complex apps, more robust, larger applications, and it's more an integration between the citizen developers and the developers to bring together a better solution. So in my opinion, if you are either just creating developer-made apps or just creating citizen developer apps, you're missing the mark of having a significantly better solution, of bringing them together, having citizen devs and developers make a range of applications. So you have simple applications that people use for tasks they want to make automation and apps for, but you also have complex applications that are built for enterprise and built for business by developers as well. So it's an integration of both, and that will really bring, you know, your business to the forefront of creating these automation and application pieces as we go forward into the future of Power Apps using these sort of low-code solutions. And that is my final slide. So thank you all very much for coming and listening. Hopefully you're all excited about the future of Power Apps and start writing some natural language queries into a bot. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, CPS over here. We have ice cream. I am boiling now, so I'm going to go grab some. Please feel free to go grab some ice cream.